B with Chef B Creations, and today we're going to learn some basic knife skills. It's spring, so we're going to learn how to cut a pineapple, a onion, and a green pepper. But first, I want to teach everyone how to hold your knife correctly. I know a lot of people might hold it like this, or have your finger up like this. This is really uncomfortable because you cramp up your finger here. And this, you don't have a lot of control with your knife and you can cut yourself more easier. So the way I always show people, you take these two fingers, your thumb and your pointer finger, little pinching motion right here. And then you're going to take your three fingers right here and just wrap it around your knife like this. That way you have better control of your knife. Better, it's nice control, it's not wobbly, and you feel a difference immediately. Okay, it's always cheaper to buy whole fruit and then cut it up versus buy already cut up fruit, because you're paying for labor and it's always cheaper to do this way. You can always tell if a pineapple is ripe. If you look on the bottom, the leaf would be more brown. If you take the tip, if one leaf comes out pretty easy, you know it's ready to be cut. Okay, so first, you can either break the top off, break the crown off, or you can just cut it off. We're just gonna cut it off. And then you cut the bottom off and have it up on its bottom. And all you're gonna do is come straight down. And what I'm doing here, you want to make sure you cut far enough so you don't have any seeds here. Just cut and turn. Okay, so in the middle here, you see a darker circle. This is the core. What you're going to do is cut right down the middle. Okay? We'll leave that to the side. Now, you're going to cut down the middle again and cut it in quarters. Now, to cut this part out, all you would do is just cut it straight down. Now you have the core. Now, this is super sweet, but people might put it in tea, but it's real fibrous, so we're just going to toss it out. So you always want a nice flat surface when you are cutting anything. It reduces the injury. So we're going to cut it in quarters, and then we're just going to cut all the way down, and now you have little tidbits like you will find in canned goods. So we have this piece. Do the same thing. Cut the core out so it's nice and flat. And then we're going to cut this in thirds because it's not as big as the other one. And here are your little tidbits. This would probably cost you about $6 or $7 if you were to buy it already cut out. But for $3, you have a whole pineapple. There's more than one way to cut a pepper, but the way I'm going to show you, you would get a greater yield of your product. Now, some people just cut it down the sides like this and leave the top and bottom. But the way I'm going to show you, we're going to take the top and bottom part off first and then clean out all the ribs that are inside. So, go ahead, cut the top off, turn it around, cut the bottom part off. So now you're left with the top part that you can easily get the seeds out, and now the bottom is nice and clean. So what I do, just grab and twist slightly. Right there. And then to get the top part off, all you do is just push in until it pops out. So this is all usable product right here. This is all trash. So we'll set these aside, and to get the inside more clean, all you do is cut it in half and then cut it again for that quarter, and then very carefully you're going to cut this rib out. Okay, so you hold your hand here. I always tell people, if you can see your fingers, you're not going to cut yourself. So you take the tip and you just slightly go across it. Now it's nice and clean. Set that aside. Do it again. Then that's already clean, so we'll set that right there. Again, take it, cut that part right out. So now we have, again, all of this is usable product, and we have all the trash over here. So now we'll set this over to the side. You cut the top and the bottom off. Depends on what you want. Normally I'll save this part if I'm doing like a large or medium dice. I would turn it over, because it's easier to cut a pepper flesh side up versus skin side down, because the skin side could be kind of tough. So the flesh part is how you want to cut it. Okay, so I'll cut that in half and then just leave these like this. If I'm making a gumbo or a stew, that's the size I want. So just like that. And the same thing with the bottom. Cut it in thirds. Turn it around and cut it in thirds. That's like a large dice. Now to julienne, we'll find a nice flat piece. If you're making fajitas or grilled steak with onions and peppers, this is the type of cut that you want. So you take it, get your claw grip, so you're not going to cut yourself, and you're just going to cut and rock, just like you're rowing a boat. Just like that. So now this is nice julienne strips. So you want them to try to be all the same size so they all cook at the same rate. So our next cut, we're going to do a dice. We're going to do a small dice. So we'll do the same thing. We're going to julienne, just like that. Okay. And for you beginners, you may not want to cut all of these together. You can just take a little bit and still do little dices like this. And this will be good for a omelet, or if you're making chili, or any recipe that calls for diced peppers. Now, if you want a larger dice like this, but you want a more uniform, I'll cut it in thirds, and then I would just cut it in half. And then if I'm doing like a veggie board and I want my slices kind of thicker, I will find the largest pepper I can find. That way your portions will be more even and more square. But you can just leave it in thirds. That way you can have your veggie board and then just scoop up your dip. So you want nice and thick slices. And these are the different ways that you can use a pepper for. Okay, next is the onion. A lot of people get nervous about cutting onions because, your eyes are going to start to burn. My way that I cut an onion is, there's the top and the bottom. I always tell people, let nature help you. We leave this part intact so it will hold your onion together. So first, make sure all the loose skin is off, and we'll just toss that to the side. Now we'll just cut this part off, and then we're going to leave it on that flat surface. Remember, we always want a flat surface when we're cutting anything. It makes things a whole lot safer. So now we have the root. We're going to cut the onion in half. Okay. Now we want to take the skin off. So you see here, it comes off pretty easy. Okay. So we'll just peel it off. Now, if you buy your onions already peeled, I would still take off that outer layer because people's hands have been on them. Now, the skin is off. If you want, sometimes this layer can be kind of tough as well. So if you want, you can take this off. It doesn't matter. So now, I'm going to teach you guys a basic julienne cut. All you're going to do, nice thin slices, okay? So nice thin slices, just like this. Now, once you get close to the root part, what you couldn't do if you're getting scared that your hands is getting close to the knife, all you would do is turn it over like this and then start doing it again. Nice thin slices. And again, you feel like you're getting too close to your hand, turn it back over. Then you can stop right there. Now, you have a finished product. This is all trash. So all you do, is break these up, and you can saute these for your steaks, or I wouldn't use these for a salad because I'll use red onions for a salad, but this is what we want. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys how to dice an onion. It's always best to do slices this way, and then come and then slice this way. Just remember, it's already segmented down this way because that's how an onion naturally is. So we're going to hold both sides, and we're not going to cut all the way to the root. We're going to cut just slightly above it because we want the root to help us. It's going to help us hold it together. Okay? So, and then if you want a small dice, you'll make your lines here closer together. If you want a large dice, you'll just make them further apart. But this action is always going to be the same. Okay? So now, it's all cut all the way here. And you see how the root is still holding the onion together, okay? So we'll just squeeze. Now we're gonna cut this way, okay? So I'm gonna stop right here. Now you might see that it's still together, but the natural way the onion is grown, you have your dices here, okay? See? Don't let this fool you that it's all together like this. Once you start cooking and mixing stuff together, or you're doing a salsa, this will all break up, okay? Hi everyone, thank you for watching today. Quick notes, always be safe with your knife. Always use a sharp knife. If you don't have a knife sharpener, invest in a nice knife sharpener. It's easier to peel from a sharp knife cut than a dull knife cut. If you have any questions or comments, if you want to see these knife cuts and a particular recipe, just go ahead and comment down below, and remember to like and subscribe and let me know what I can create for you.